guys, welcome. We're going to talk about Tennessee grant money, free grant money for you guys. And I think these grant programs that are federally backed are excellent, especially if you have been deciding to get into childcare for your own, or if you wanted to expand your childcare. So basically, the U.S. federal government has issued money. This is all the COVID, rent relief, employment relief, small business relief. Well, daycares were impacted greatly during this time. So in each state, they were awarded federal money, and each state has their own way of doing things and their own way of dispersing these funds. So today, we're going to talk about Tennessee, my home state. Couldn't do without it. We're going to talk about the money that's available for you in Tennessee. Now, take it in hand. Some of these grants have been closed down. Some states, they're out of funding. Some states are going to recycle it and do it again. And some states have ended their deadline. Tennessee has not. So Tennessee still has money for you guys. And Tennessee did something a little unique that I haven't run across yet. Not saying it's not in other states. But one of the things we're going to talk about today is the wage grant. Now, listen up. This grant is for anybody that's working in daycare centers. If you are working in daycare centers, you don't have to own it. You just got to work there. You can get an annual amount of a stipend check or grant money that comes to you. It's educational based on salary. It's called a supplemental grant. And the three goals that they have with this grant is to reduce the turnover rate. And then 2, the low pay that daycares have. And 3, it is a reward for educators, for people who are in the daycare field, who are taking care of small children. This is a reward mechanism for them. So this goes directly to you. It doesn't go to your director. It doesn't go to the daycare. It goes directly to you. And again, it's called the wages grant, and anyone can apply for it. Just go to Department of Human Services, Google wage grant, and I may have some information in my notes for you guys, phone number or website where you can plug in today and go ahead and fill the paperwork out and get that grant. Now, this particular grant has 7 levels to it. So the very first one, if and it's kind of based off of educational experience or your educational merit that you have working within the daycare. So if the more you've gone into the daycare field, taking classes, taking college courses, higher education for the daycare, the more money you get. So the very first lowest level is $600. Who couldn't use $600? So anyone can apply for this. All you need is 6 credit hours from anywhere. It doesn't matter what you have those 6 credit hours in. And if you know, like I know, in Tennessee, everyone has to take 15 to 16 hours a year on extra credit and extra courses and things of that nature. So the next one is 24 credits. And this is where it gets a little tricky. When you get to 24 credits, they have to be going toward some type of education that's higher education. It doesn't matter what type of education, college courses, any type of technical school courses. You get $1,350. Yeah. And then it goes kind of up and it goes to 36 credits when most of those, like 12 of those, have to be within the child care range. So any type of courses you've taken within child range, you will get $2,100. It goes to $2,850 for 53 credits, $3,300 for 60 credits. So it goes on up and it tops out at $3,700. And this is for the wage grant. Super grant to get into. Anybody. You don't have to own the daycare long as you're working in daycare. Now let's go to the Tennessee Enhancement Grant. And this grant is actually, this particular grant is for you to actually enhance the daycare center that you have. There is almost the base of this is $40,000. That's the minimum you can apply for. But it goes up from $40,000. Then they have these bonuses attached. You get more if you're in an economically distressed neighborhood. You get more for completing some classes with our resource and referral on toddlers and infants. You get more if you're seeking accreditation from NACE. And you get more if you participated in Childcare Certificate Program. So the base is this amount, this $40,000 to enhance. And your enhancement can be playground, your enhancement can be computers, your enhancement can be to expand your business, to create a second location, to add an add-on. It doesn't matter. Long as you have the basic things that they're asking for in this application, you will get this grant. And guys, remember, grants you don't have to pay back. And most of the time with grants, you're looking at having to do, you got to definitely have a mission statement. You got to have a plan for the money. You got to have a budget for the money, and you got to know exactly how much it costs. You also want to make sure that you have the normal things that you would normally have in your own business, your EIN number. You want to make sure your taxes are paid, your employee taxes are paid, and these things are all up to date before you apply. Because when you apply, you can't go back in and change any information. Everything's kind of in stone. So the enhancement grant is an amazing grant to have for playgrounds, things of that nature. And like I said, anyone in Tennessee, that as long as you have a daycare center, home daycare, or group home, you can apply for this grant. And if you think about it, if you have a home daycare center and you've got 15 children, which we call in Tennessee group homes, you want to expand that. You want to enhance that. You can get the funds now so you can go into a center. Guys, this is major. This is major. Reach out to me for a 45-minute consultation. You can go to my website and get that. You can go ahead and get into the class for centers, for workshop for centers, where you and I will sit down one-on-one. You can text me with information or questions that you have. I highly suggest that you get the 45-minute, because a lot of times I can't answer the text, or if I answer the text, it's only going to be brief. If you book the 45-minute consultation, I think it's only like $50 for 45 minutes. Win-win. I try to keep everything just as low as possible for you guys. You want to get into the workshops. You want to take the childcare workshop for group home. If you're thinking about expanding to a group home, maybe you're keeping a couple of kids at your home and you're thinking about expanding to a group home. If you're in a group home and want to expand to a childcare center, I have the workshop for that. If you have a childcare center, you don't know what you need to do or what's the next step, I got you. Go ahead and give me a call and we'll set up a workshop that's based on your needs. So guys, I do want to tell you about this little tidbit. In the state of Tennessee, the Tennessee Department of Human Services and Child Care Licensing is giving anyone free CPR and first aid. So I think this is great. And for you daycare owners out there already, go get everybody CPR and first aided. And I know the rules in Tennessee is that at all times, one person has to have CPR and first aid in the building. I had an incident where someone was there who was first aid, but they were not first on the scene. And so since then, I've always made everyone have CPR and first aid off the rip. So if and that can be expensive with larger daycare centers. So if you're in Tennessee and you've got a large daycare center, go. It's free. Get everybody CPR and first aid. All you have to do is go to www.tnccrr.org. Again, that's www.tnccrr.org. And go ahead and take advantage of that. Along in Tennessee, we have establishment grants. So if you want to get established in a daycare. You want to start opening a daycare. You don't know where to start. You need to take the workshop first. I tell everybody, take the workshop first so you at least know the language. You go into this knowing what you're talking about, knowing what you're doing. They're going to give you that money so much faster. So if you've got a group home, or if you never even had a daycare before and you want to start a daycare in Tennessee, I've got the grant information for you. They will pay for you to do this totally free, and grants you don't have to pay back. So if you want to look into the establishment grant, and in the establishment grant, you're going to have at least found a location, or at least be working on a location. They will pay for the rent. They will pay for the mortgage. They will pay for whatever you need in order to get this thing going, supplies, equipment, the building, the rent, the utilities, all of that. But you've got to be actively looking, and you've got to have a game plan. And one of the things that I tell you, which is really why you should take the workshops first, is that the location of your daycare is extremely important in terms of how much grant funding you get. So they want to look to supply more dry areas that need more childcare servicing. So they want to look to supply those particular areas. Now, again, this is $400,000 minimum. The number you're going to call is 1-888. This is for establishment grants. You don't have anything. You want to establish something. 1-888-883-5514. That's one, and I'm going to put it up here real quick for you guys. 1-888-883-5514. Establishment grants. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we're going to add this banner. We're going to put this up so you guys can actually, there we go. So you want to call this number for your establishment grants. If you are at ground zero and you want to open a daycare, this is the ticket. You can also get in touch with me anytime you want. You can text me. I usually give my number out. But if it gets too detailed, if you don't have like just one question, I will tell you to definitely go to my website and book a daycare consultation. And guys, look for the childcare consultation, because there's a plethora of things that I do. So you want to stay with the child care as well. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you in finding grants for Tennessee and opening daycare centers. My whole thing is I want to get everyone opening daycare centers. I've got an amazing curriculum I talk about, because we're doing a whole paradigm shift in teaching these new star seeds that are coming out. And the curriculum is fascinating. It's all, it has alchemy. We're teaching alchemy. We're teaching vibrations and colors and chakras and meditation and yoga and all those amazing things that make our life great. So we're teaching it to the babies now. Guys, have an amazing day. Again, I'm going to put the number up here for your establishment grants. Like and share this video. Like and subscribe. How about that? Talk to you later. Bye.